Okay.
Yep.
So first off, because of what you chose to do, and you speak very passionately about being a coach.
Yeah.
First, before you answer the question, I'd like for you to label exactly what your title is. How do you describe yourself? What do you label yourself as?
I'm an online fit coach, or you could just simply say he's an online personal trainer.
Okay.
And honestly, that's as simple as it gets.
Okay. So a remote
Remote
personal trainer.
Yep.
And you deal with people that want to build muscle because you know you're into the bodybuilding,
Yeah.
but also people that want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically body transformation.
Body transformation.
So we're gonna make it sound like real. So he's a remote body transformation expert.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
So what made you get into remote body transformation?
Well, actually, the biggest thing, I didn't think about it. And I wasn't going to actually initially do anything, but I wanted to be a personal trainer because I had been training for, 2 years, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could teach somebody this. So then I talked to one of the general managers one day. He's like, you need a certification. I'm thinking you just get a personal trainer job. I had no idea you needed credentials. So after that, what I did was I got a certification probably, 3-4 months. And then I go back and there's a new manager. And she wouldn't hire me for no matter what I did.
Like at a gym?
Yeah, she would not hire me. And so I took that as a sign to start my own. Clearly somebody's telling me I should just do it myself. And I remember telling my good friend Dwayne Graham, I said, I'm going to start my own business and it's going to grow. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But I think this is what I'm supposed to do. And that's really how I got started. My mission is just change lives as much as possible. It's hard. It's tough. And honestly, some days it's terrible.
Right.
I mean, seriously. So that's how I really got started. That's where the spark came from. But I always knew that I wanted to help, because it first helped me. So it saved me in a way, honestly, especially dealing with identity and image. That's one of the biggest things about fitness targets is your image. And honestly, I don't care anything. Beauty comes from within. It does, but there's a certain level of confidence that comes when you can actually alter your image. It helps you, both for men and women.
So what's the process that an individual would go through if they want your services?
Oh, man, the baseline process is usually, depending on how it goes, most people message because we live in a techie world, but most times after you're done with the initial dialogue, you need to book a call. Right? And that call is going to just really talk about, the baseline goals, what you want to do and how you want to do it, right? You don't really know the how fully because that's why you're at a trainer. You kind of want to know how to do your goal.
So is that so you would call that the initial consultation?
Yeah, it's around, it's baseline only 15 minutes, and most times I don't really let it get it past 20 because it's just
light.
Okay. It's just way too long. Now, there's many times where there's people that already, they know they want to train. So in that call, usually, if you are in that position, then you can double down right there. And that, for me, that happens quite often. So if you're that person, then most times like, okay, awesome, let's do it. And perhaps you're not that person. Then there's another call, and that call really breaks down the strategy. And so between those two calls, like let's say you get the first call and that's it, then most times we go to like a Zoom call and we just walk through the app. We walk through how to use it, how to kind of see its functions. It's really simple though, which is what I like. And that's the process. From there, what I do is I have to go into a creative process because it's one-to-one coaching. So it's not like the next person's getting the same thing you're getting because it's training. Like everybody's different. And so usually people will come to me in the middle of the week or end of the week, and it will give me time to actually create. And then once that new week starts, I'm done. I'm ready to, I got so much information from the person, they're about ready to train. right? And so that's pretty much the sign up process for everything. Very simple.
And the best way to contact you is via Facebook.
Instagram,
get a message to you.
Yep, Instagram, Marquise Fitness, Facebook, Marquise Taylor, and then of course if you have my number or email, then maximumpotentialfit@gmail.com.
Okay. Yep. Okay, great. So you guys got that, and then so the process from what I just took in is first to make contact with you via one of those particular avenues, and then once you do, set up an initial consultation call, which is just kind of a, hey, what are you trying to do, blah
pretty
blah
much.
blah, and if they're pretty straightforward, then you can be straightforward with them, and the process can actually start right then.
It really can.
If they're not sure and you need to analyze a little bit, that might be. Take a second call?
So, usually what I do is I only give probably like between 5 to 6 days before I just, let's say like I got to think about it, right? I usually give 5 to 6 days because if you got to think about it and you're sure, you'll usually be back between 1 to 2 days. Right?
Okay.
But if you got to think about it and it takes you up to 6 days, most times you're not coming back. And so I've learned that over time. The people that are serious, most times they either do it right there or they actually literally need like a day to sit and think, which is fine. But anything beyond that 5 to 6 day mark, I know for a fact over doing this for a while now that you're not coming back. And so that's kind of like a policy I hold dear because we've all went to go buy something and say I have to think about it. And most times when you say that, you're not coming back.
It's because you really don't want to.
Don't want to.
You're turmoiling with yourself, right?
Or you can't afford it. And by the way, if you can't afford training, because training is not something that's cheap.
Right. You tell it big. But anyway, no.
It's not cheap at all. And so I tell people, be honest with yourself. Is this something that you can do or is it not? I don't believe in trying to make somebody take out a loan or pay credit for nothing. I don't. Because if you want it, you'll do it. I want to give a nugget here. Right? When you guys are coming to a trainer, not just me, any trainer, and by the way, no trainer should be charging you dirt cheap because their value should be where they believe. But here's what I'm going to tell you. When you guys are trying to buy training, okay, and you guys are having a problem with should I do it, should I not, should I purchase it, go to your ledgers, like your bank ledgers, go look over the last 2 months, see what you've bought, right? Most Americans, most of us, especially us black folk, we love to look good. And so if you just go back and you just really go through and see what you spent your money on, if you find somewhere like $800, $900 on miscellaneous stuff, you could have bought training. Right? It's just not as it's not as sensational at first because it's not that immediate gratification. But remember this, material things you can buy and you throw away, your body you can only get once.
Right.
Keep that nugget. So next time you guys have an opposition and if you want to buy or not, that you think about that. Because that's something that I thought about, guys. Before I started training, and I'm going to disclose this because I think this is key, just to give my truth. Before I started training, I spent $10.1 thousand on a course. I was scared on my mind, but I knew I had to do it, right? If I wanted to go to college, I would have did the same thing, right? That's, look, most of us probably have student debt.
Right.
So, if you look at your debt, that first of all, that grows annually, right, on the interest. Training doesn't. That was a one-time payment. I'm done, right? But it has allowed me to start in my coaching. And if I didn't do it, I guarantee you guys I would probably still be wondering how to start. But sometimes you have to take that leap.
You just got to start.
And it's not as scary after you've done it. It's only scary when you need to start it. So that's a tip of that's another nugget I'm throwing.
In your opinion, what is your ideal client? A person. What is the ideal person to come to you?
When I think of an ideal client, if you guys don't know, I help men primarily all the time. And the reason I think that is because that's what I attract. It's hard to attract a woman when you don't really have like the struggles that women kind of do. Men struggle a lot more with confidence, because we have our jobs, or if you have a business, you have relationships, and that's just where we hit most. So when I'm looking for ideal client, the only thing I'm looking for is men at any level, by the way, but men who are working on reclaiming their confidence through their health. Because the only thing I started fitness for was to have a greater confidence. I had a lack of it. So when I attract men and I'm talking to them, that's the only thing that comes out most times.
Well, it's interesting too because you take a lot of pictures, chest out pictures and everything like that. So, you put in a lot of work to yourself as well.
Yeah.
And out of curiosity, what specifically inspired you to go that way, as far as increasing mass and just, getting cut,
So, if you guys don't follow me, like, I grew up probably starting 6th grade with alopecia, right? And so alopecia is kind of like probably one of the ultimate image distressors. But the problem was I was skinny and I was small. I was like, when I was a freshman, I was only like 90 pounds. Like, I had no weight. So being skinny, being bald, completely, it's not a good look. So I'm like, you know what, man? I'm just going to be the bald, buff guy. Because it just makes sense. Like, most bald guys are buff. Realistically. Let's be Terry Crews, LL Cool J. You gotta understand, all the big guys they're big guys and they're bald. And it's just, the older you get, I think, and you're a bald black guy, it just gets really normal. Regardless if you're 20, 30, 40, like, in our community, like, being bald, is just a trend, though, especially, like, on the East Coast and stuff. So my grandma was just like, boy, you better go ahead and just do your thing. So I'm like, cool. So 2016, I said, I'm just going to build mass and build lean muscle. And that's what made me feel safe. And I think when you have a confidence issue, and it's an outer issue, and I'll say this in confidence here, your outer shell gives more security to your inner spirit, right? Your inner spirit's always battling, right? Mine always battling because you're fighting insecurities. Even being married, I love my wife. My wife loves me. But I still, as a man, have my insecurities. But the way I have healed my insecurities has been building a better shell on the outside. If I was just fit, right, and I just like had a little abs or something, I don't think I'd be as confident. And seeing that my dad was always big as well, I'm like, oh, I could chase him down too as much as possible, So that is why I went that route. But I know that that's not the route for everybody, which is why I have learned how to coach people at all levels. Weight loss, fat loss, muscle building, everybody. I taught myself how to do it all. So, yeah.
Okay.
So Maximum Potential started out as being an online coaching business because the in-person training business just wouldn't take me, I guess. And I just figured, since that's where's the money at. By the way, mistake number 1, follow the money, but don't follow the money. Follow the heart. And so anyways, I started out doing online coaching. It's been a little bit over a year now. And I know that I love helping people. And I've gotten way better at my career choice than I did when I first started. I have so much knowledge. I just finished my 3rd course. I'm on my 4th course, my 4th certification. I have nutritional knowledge. I have personal training knowledge, corrective exercise knowledge, nutrition. I mean, you just name it. And so I figured that I want to help people in person, not at a big capacity. I just want to help a certain amount of people that prefer in-person training, because I learned that there's a group of people in this society that like having the trainer, and there's a specific group in this society that don't mind having the online coach. So, and by the way, personal training, in-person training doesn't require a lot of nutritional coaching and all that. Most times people just want to learn how to move their body and keep their body healthy. And I'm okay with teaching that because it's something that I love all aspects of fitness. So, Maximum Potential Online Coaching is one entity. It's always going to be open to people, but we have to add another element of in-person training, which is coming very soon, hopefully. So I can't wait to put that out for you guys.
Okay, cool. So, Marquise, in regards to myself, man, it's been it's been a journey.
Yeah.
And
3 months.
I mean, I can answer the question based on me as a client.
Okay.
But here's a question.
By the way, guys, Chuck is an awesome client.
Here's a question for you as a coach.
Okay.
But it's the same question that might be asked to to the client.
Okay.
Here goes. Why do people need a personal coach?
Everybody's reason changes, you know? Truthfully, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be counterproductive to my answer, but I'm going to wrap it, or I'm going to bring it all home.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't need anything, okay? A lot of people just need self-discipline.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with obtaining self-discipline is that most people don't want to do that hard work to get it. For 5 years, I taught myself how to lift. I've had friends over time and mentors, but I taught myself, and I built that hard shell for myself. People need coaches, though, really, because the accountability is low. Accountability is low in society. Accountability is low in American culture. Accountability is low in the families. Accountability is low in the schools. And I think the biggest thing a coach charges for is not skill or expert, because you could take a coach who has 1 million certification and is trash. They can't connect with their client. They can't help them get to the next level. And you take one guy with one personal trainer certification and can take somebody to the moon, right? But I think the biggest thing that people need a coach for is to be held accountable. It sounds weird, but think about it. Kids who do crazy things in society most time don't have a good level of accountability. They don't have their parents to tell them, hey man, what are you doing? Even if it's just their mother in the home. And when you don't have guidance and you don't have that disciplinary hand, right? Because you have your hand and then you have the coach's hand. Where it's like, when your hand is starting to, wane out, that coach just comes on and like, get up and go do that thing. Mm-hmm. Because that's what it's about. And accountability looks funny, right? Like, people think that accountability is like, oh man, you need to do the work. But I'm gonna tell you guys right now, like with me and Chuck, man, sometimes it's just hey, I hope you're doing well.
Right.
But what that does for the client is it's like, oh, this guy's thinking about me. Like, he's actually thinking about if I'm doing okay, if I'm still striving for what I want to do. That's accountability. And it comes in many forms. And so that's what I think is what people really pay for in every facet.
So this is the type of trainer that this guy is. He does remote training via the internet, but you see where he is right now. He came out today to walk with me, just to give me that extra boost of encouragement and just say, I'm here for you, man. This is awesome. Marquise has been great. Guys, if you don't have a trainer, or if you are thinking about a trainer, once again, just like I gave him my word, I'm going to give you guys my word. From what I've seen from this man, he is the guy that you guys want to go to.
Yeah.
Because he's going to work with you. He's going to work for you. And he is sincere about what he does. Okay. Marquise, give him a special goodbye.
We'll see you soon.
All right.